I'm Susan Amato. I'm a registered and certified yoga teacher at the 200 level, 200-hour level. And this is my friend Jess.
Hello.
And we're going to take you through a nice general little flow yoga class. It's going to be just a short class, but you'll kind of get all of the range of motions that you want to cover in yoga. So Jess will be your visual reference, and just make sure everything feels really great to you. So if you need to modify or adjust in any way, please do. Although listen to the cues that I'm giving you too for good alignment and to enhance that sensation of feeling great in your own body. That's really what it's all about. So to get started, just take a comfortable seat. Do feel free to sit up on a blanket or blocks or pillows or whatever you have around. Give your hips a little bit of a lift. And then notice where your knees are, the height of your knees. We're looking for them to be either at the height of your hips or a little bit lower so that you're not feeling like you have to hold on to the weight of your legs. So once you've done that, just close your eyes. Rest the weight of your hands on your legs. And as you release the weight of your legs down to the ground, do muscularly pull your low belly and your low back in towards each other. This is going to help support your spine at the base of your spine, so you can sit up a little bit taller. From there, lift your shoulders up towards your ears and slide them back without dropping them down. So feel very long through the sides of your waist, from your hips to your underarms. And as you snuggle the shoulder blades into the back of your body, feel your collarbones broaden in the front of your body. So your heart center, your sternum area, gets really big and full. Keeping what you've just done, slide your chin just ever so slightly straight back and lengthen the crown of your head, just the center of your head, the top of your head, straight up towards the ceiling. Relax your face. And just notice your breath. Make it deep, make it full, make it smooth. But keep it moving in and out through your nose versus your mouth. And just notice the sound of your breath, the sensation. And then please bring your palms together in prayer right in front of your heart center. And set a little intention simply to honor and appreciate your breath and your body as we move through our practice today. With an exhale, gently bow your head towards your hands. And then on another inhale, please lift your gaze and release your palms. All right, very good. So let's start in tabletop pose. So on your hands and knees. Do set up your hands so they're close to the top edge of your mat. Place your hands as wide as your outer shoulders and spread your fingers really wide, like all of them. And then look at your index fingers, point them straight up to the top edge of your mat so they're parallel to each other. Just keep your shoulders right over the wrists as they are, knees right underneath your hips, and if you can tuck your toes, go ahead and do that. And we'll just move through some cat-cow to warm up your spine. So take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, round into a cat pose. So pause here and feel the contraction in the front of your body as you tuck your chin towards your belly and your tailbone under, and feel the expansion in the back of your body. As you inhale, do the opposite. So cow pose, curl the shoulder blades way back, spread open those collarbones, stretch your belly towards the floor and tip your seat up towards the sky. Contraction in the back of the body, expansion in the fronts. And then go the other way again, cat pose, round your spine. And then inhale, cow pose again, curl the shoulders way back, stretch the belly out. And close your eyes and just go through a few more with your own breath. So exhaling for cat pose and inhaling for cow pose. And you can go as fast or as slow as your breath is carrying you. So there's no need to really alter anything here. You're just sort of moving and flowing in accordance with your breath. And ideally, that's what we aim to do once we get a little bit more familiar with the poses, like the lunges and the other bits to it. And we just add flow, make it more graceful, more like a dance. And the next time you come to cow pose, stay there and really work these shoulder blades into the back of the body a lot, spread open through the collarbones. But now keep that, so keep what you've done in the shoulder blades, but now pull your belly in and stretch your tailbone back so you fill out this low back and she's nice and flat. That looks fantastic. So keep that, but now move your knees back like 6 or 7 inches with the toes tucked under. So now there's a slight slope in the thighs like that. This is low plank pose. But from here, keep your hands exactly where they are, claw the floor with your finger pads, and stretch your hips back like you're gonna place them over your heels, and come to a little puppy dog pose. So don't let your arms collapse, keep them really strong and lifted up away from the floor. And enhancing that, grip into the finger pads a lot. Gain a sensation of feeling the palms lift up away from the floor, and continue that action all the way up through the undersides of your arms into your armpits. But then from there, shoulder blades move towards one another, and again, soften your heart center towards the ground. A nice long stretch through the spine here. Okay, so again, this is puppy dog pose, not quite full dog pose yet, but a fantastic option and a great stretch. So then come forward again, come back to low plank pose with your shoulders right over the wrists, right? So already she's got her shoulder blades coming towards one another, and the belly's picked up, it's not dropping down. So this is low plank. Lift your knees up off of the floor now and come to a high plank pose. So all the same things are happening here. The shoulder blades are pulling towards one another. Keep lifting up through the low belly, the low rib cage, and scoop the tail down. Awesome. If at any time you need to come down to your knees, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, stay here for just 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And with your next exhale, shift back to downward facing dog. So this is a full dog pose, right? So it's the same exact shape, it's just the knees are off of the ground now. So nothing has changed in the hands. They're still as wide as your outer shoulders with the finger pads spread, and grip down into your finger pads a lot. Then get a sense of a lift through the undersides of your arms up into your armpits. Then from there, stretch way back through the hips, put a bend in your knees now, and tip your seat up towards the sky. Get like a nice curve in your low back to the extent that you can keep that. Then start to work the legs a little straighter. Very good. And as you look back at your feet, just note that they're hip width. So not too wide nor too narrow. If you were to measure it, it would be like 1, 1.5, 2 of your own fists, something like that. So do that again, bend your knees deeply, tip your seat up towards the sky like a lot, then look forward and walk your hands up towards your feet up towards your hands and come to a forward fold, so Uttanasana. As you look down at your feet, please place them hip width and parallel. So again, hip width meaning just 1 or 2 of your own fists. Parallel meaning the pinky edges of your feet parallel to the long edges of your mat. Keep a slight bend to the knees and put just as much weight in the balls of your feet as the heels. And then from here, inhale, lift up to a half fold. You can either take your hands up onto your shins like Jess is doing and really work the muscles of the back body a lot like you do in your cow pose, right? And spread open the chest. Good, exhale, fold back in. Keeping, again, that slight bend to the knees. It's gonna feel better on your hamstrings too. And then inhale, lift up to your half fold again. So you can, again, put your hands up onto your shins, or you can use your blocks. Let's just take that step in between, right? Same idea, you're slightly lifted away from the floor. Or, if your hamstrings allow, go ahead and take your fingertips down to the floor, and you're still working the back body a lot. Exhale, fold back in from there. One more time, inhale, lift up halfway. Put an extra bend in your knees now. Really lift the shoulders up, squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Flip your palms forward and then sweep your arms up. As soon as they line up to your ears, then come all the way up with a really strong back and strong legs. Stretch up to the sky like you want to touch the ceiling. And then take your palms together, exhale, bring them down right in front of your heart center, and release your hands. Very good. So, feet are still hip width and parallel. We're now in Tadasana, so mountain pose. Do pull your belly in, send your tail down, lift your shoulders up, curl your shoulders back and get the heart center lifted and light. And then inhale, stretch your arms up. Again, work the shoulder blades towards one another a whole lot. Put a bend in the knees and then exhale, slowly fold, keeping your back muscles very engaged as you do so, legs as well. So resist the urge to slam your legs straight during these folds. Inhale, lift up to a half fold, please. Exhale, come to a tabletop pose, so all fours. The very first pose that we did. Inhale, come to a cow pose. Curl the shoulders back to a little back bend. Exhale, come to cat pose, round your spine. Inhale, do cow pose again, curl open. And then exhale, step your feet back, lift your knees, and come to downward facing dog. push way back. Again, grip those finger pads down, make sure the fingers are spreading. Don't make your wrists bear all of the weight of this pose. They'll get really cranky about that, like immediately, and it won't feel so good. But do develop the strength and utilize the strength in your hands to make this more enjoyable. Do keep a soft bend in your knees and really stretch back through your hips. Get long through your waist and your spine. Again, bend your knees deeply, tip your seat up towards the sky, look forward, and walk your feet up to your hands. Come back to your Uttanasana, so to forward fold at the top of the mat. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, lift up halfway, stretch forward. Exhale, bow back in all the way. Do it again. Inhale, lift up halfway, look forward. Flip your palms forward. Keep a bend in the knees so your legs are strong. Sweep your arms forward, line your biceps up to your ears, and then rise all the way up to stand. Stretch, reach, get long, get tall. And then take your palms together, bring them down in front of your heart. Release your hands. Good. Do it again. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Stretch up. Exhale, fold. Strong in the legs, strong in the back, the whole way down. When you get to the bottom of your fold, bow in deeply to yourself. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up halfway, stretch forward. Exhale, step back to a low plank pose. So flatten your hands, make sure they're as wide as your outer shoulders, and come right down to your knees. But again, it's not table, so there's that slant in her thighs. You see that? And the toes are tucked under, but her shoulders stay right over the wrist, so she still has to do a fair amount of core work here. Now, look at the space between your thumbs, and I want you to kind of stick your butt up into the air and slowly lower your chest, not your belly, between your thumbs. Take your time. So we're coming to knees, chest, chin, Ashtangasana. Yeah, so her knees down, knees are down, her chest is down, and now her chin is hovering above the ground. You can put it down if that's comfortable for your neck or not. So now from here, she can flatten out her pelvis onto the ground and wiggle her feet back. Flip onto the tops of your feet, spread your toes a lot, and press the toes nails into the floor. Then from here, keep your chest down, but lift your shoulders up towards your ears, and then up towards the ceiling and spread open your chest. I want you to keep this action in the shoulders, but now press into the hands and lift up to a little cobra pose. Good, yeah, keep working these shoulders back, 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 rather than letting them dump forward. Like, show what that's like, dump them forward. Ugh, not good. Curl these back, and then she has freedom in her throat to lean her head back if she'd like. Good, now tuck your toes under, keep your chest up, press down into your knees to lift your pelvis up, and sit back to a little puppy pose again. Good, yeah, just get a nice stretch and wiggle through your spine and your waist, and then go ahead and lift up to full downward facing dog pose again. Wonderful. Stretch back, breathe. Again, breathing smoothly in and out through your nose. Let it be calm. Notice when it gets out of control, that probably means that we're either straining or, we're otherwise not aligned in the body in a harmonious way. And so that deserves a step back and some adjustment. So do bend your knees a lot. Tip your seat up towards the sky, look forward. Walk your way up, come to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Fold in, bow in. Good. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow back in all the way. Flip your palms and sweep on up. Come all the way up to stand. Strong legs, strong back still. Reach up, stretch up. Palms together. Exhale, bring them down in front of your heart. And release. One more time. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold, please. Take your time. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up halfway, stretch forward. Exhale, step back to plank pose again. This time, let's try to do high plank. If that's not possible or it's just not, the strongest day for you, take your knees down to the floor and don't feel bad about that. Work the shoulder blades a lot, but keep the belly and the low ribs in. Now again, I want you to bring your chest down first, the first thing to touch right between your thumbs. So go ahead and do that. Keep working the collarbones wide as you do that. Slowly lower down. Consider even hovering at like a midway mark without letting the shoulders dump down more than the elbows. And then come all the way down to the belly. Good hold. Flip onto the tops of your feet, lift your shoulders up and back and curl back, press into your hands, rise up to cobra, release your buns, do not steal your buns here. It's gonna cut off your low back and just cram it more. Do pull the belly in and point your tailbone towards your heels, and that'll feel better on your low back. Good. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up to downward facing dog. You can use your knees or not use your knees here, whatever's feeling great to your spine. Release the weight of your head as you stretch back. Take one more breath, exhale. Bend your knees deeply. Tip your seat up towards the sky. Look forward at your hands and walk your feet up. Come to a forward fold again. Good. Feet hip width parallel, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up to half fold, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, step your left foot back behind you and come to a runner's lunge. So left foot goes way back. Slide both hands back to line up to your right ankle. This is going to put your right knee directly over the ankle. And if you want to, if the floor feels like really far away, you can use blocks here. And now there's just not as much weight on your front thigh, and you're able to sit up a little taller through the chest. Do make your back leg really strong, so get the bend out of the knee to the best of your ability, and you'll want the back heel straight up and down versus stretching way back to the back of the room like that. That's too much stress on your Achilles tendon, so just have it lift straight up like that. Good. Now look forward, step forward, back to your folds. Inhale, lift up halfway, stretch forward again. Exhale, step your left foot right foot way back. Left foot stays forward. Line both hands up to your front ankle, front foot, making sure that your left knee is directly over your left ankle. Okay, back leg really straight, really strong. Squeeze your feet towards one another now, as if you're gonna bunch up the mat between your feet. And now with power in your legs, get a little lighter in your fingertips and lift your chest up. Good. Hands back down to the floor if they came up. Step your right foot forward, come back to a fold, bowing all the way. Inhale, lift up halfway, stretch forward. Exhale, step your left foot back again, please. So the right leg's forward. Same runner's lunge that we did a moment ago, so do make sure that the front shin bone is perpendicular to the ground. This time, take your left knee down to the ground. Squeeze your legs still in towards one another, and now with more stability in your legs, feel free to take your arms up and overhead, lift your torso straight up and down, and be in a low crescent lunge. So here, you can even turn this into a little bit of a back bend. If you scoop your tailbone down, work your right hip towards your right heel, and lean the rib cage back, lean the head back. Wonderful. And inhale back to a neutral spine. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lift your back knee up. Please step your way forward to a fold again. Inhale, lift up again, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot back behind you. Same thing, second side. So once you've got the length of your lunge, your front shin's perpendicular, your back heel's lifted straight up and down without a bend in the knee. Now place the right knee down to the floor. And if your knees are sensitive, you can double fold your mat or pad it with a blanket or a pillow or something like that. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Come on up, low lunge. Torso vertical. Start now to rotate your upper arms more inward and get your elbows straight, fingers spread a lot, and then lean back without taking the front knee back at all. Keep it exactly where it is. Just lean this rib cage back, back, back. Oh yeah, good. But inhale, lift up all the way. Exhale, take your hands to the ground. Lift your back knee up, look forward, step forward, back to your folds. Inhale, lift up halfway again, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot back. Same length, same runner's lunge. You can do the same exact thing that we did before with the back knee down onto the ground, or if you felt pretty balanced and awesome there, squeeze your legs towards one another, look forward, and come on up to a high crescent lunge. So the back knee is off of the floor. It's a lot harder to balance, so do work those feet towards one another like you want to bunch up your mat like a whole lot. And then if that feels great, start to lean back, but keep that deep bend in the front knee. Good. Inhale, come on up to neutral. Exhale, take your hands to the floor and step forward, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, stretch forward. Exhale, step back with the right foot. Second side. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Look forward with stability and confidence and trust in your legs. Rise on up. Crescent lunge. Good. Keep working the legs strongly, so stable that you can lift up into the chest and start to curl back. Even start to look up the wall, look up towards the ceiling, look towards the back wall. Maybe, maybe not. Come back up to neutral. Exhale, take your hands down to the ground. Look forward, step forward again. Fold, bow. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, flatten your hands, step back to plank pose again. Good. Keep the belly in, use your knees on the floor or don't use your knees. Slowly lower down, touch your chest down first, right between your thumbs. Yeah, or hover because you're feeling like rockin' awesome here. Then flip onto the tops of your feet, curl your shoulders up and back and come on up to a cobra pose again. As you get higher in these back bends, you really want to activate the belly so as not to let the shoulders drop forward. I can't emphasize that enough. Really pull them back and get the heart center more forward. And exhale, downward facing dog via your knees or not. Stretch it back. Keep a slight bend to the knees so that you get longer through the spine. Let your head go, even shake out your hair a little bit. And then please look between your hands and step your right foot all the way up into that place, like all the way up in between your hands, even if it takes more than one movement. Just made it look really easy, but it's not. Okay, so do make sure that the right foot is in between your hands, no closer to the right nor the left, and then flip your left foot down so that the pinky edge of your foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat, the back edge of your mat. Keep your back leg straight and strong, and then inhale, come on up to a warrior two, stretch your right arm forward, left arm back, keeping your right knee directly over the ankle. The tendency is for this knee to collapse towards the left, so don't let that happen. It's perfectly a great idea to look at your own knee and see where it is in space. Keep it right over the ankle, looks fantastic. And there's also this tendency to like lean right way forward and get really ferocious about your warrior lunge, but it's like ferocious enough. So just staying vertical is perfectly fine. Good, take your hands to your hips now, stretch your right leg straight and flip your feet. So now point your left toes to the back of the room, so straight ahead to the back edge of your mat, and make your right foot now parallel to what used to be the front edge of your mat. Look at your own left knee, and then bend it until it's right over the ankle, without letting it drop out to the right. Open up your arms, and stretch into all of your fingers, not just the left ones because you're looking out over them, but remember that you have right fingers back here as well. And again, pull those shoulder blades in, lift the chest up, but keep the belly in. Breathe. Relax your face and eyebrows. Again, this pose is like fierce enough. You don't need to add to it that much. Just a little breath is like perfect. Take one more breath here. And then take your hands to your